Picture this, the sun on your face, the wind in your hair, and the open ocean stretching out before you. It's the ultimate escape, right? Most people think sailing is a luxury reserved for the mega rich, but I'm here to tell you that's a load of codswallop. It's totally doable to have an epic sailing adventure without needing a trust fund. We're about to chart a course for adventure, showing you how to navigate the high seas without emptying your wallet. All right, mate, let's talk destinations. There are hidden gems all over the globe where you can experience the thrill of sailing without the luxury yacht price tag. Southeast Asia is your first mate in this endeavor. Think Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Imagine turquoise waters, lush islands, and the kind of sunsets that'll make you want to write bad poetry. The best part? The cost of living is low, so your money goes a long way. Next up, we're setting our sights on the Mediterranean. Now I know what you're thinking. Mediterranean? That screams expensive yachts and fancy cocktails. But hold your horses. It's all about knowing where to look. Croatia, Greece, and Turkey offer incredible sailing opportunities with charming coastal towns and ancient ruins, all without breaking the bank. Now, for my fellow adventurers who prefer cooler climates, let's not forget about the rugged beauty of Scandinavia. Norway, Sweden, and Denmark boast stunning fjords, picturesque fishing villages, and a rich maritime history. And listen, the sailing's not for the faint of heart up there, but hey, we're not afraid of a little challenge, are we? Moving on to the Americas, Central America is a haven for budget-conscious sailors. Belize, Guatemala, and Panama offer a taste of paradise with crystal-clear waters, lush rainforests, and a laid-back vibe. Think colorful coral reefs, exotic wildlife, and the chance to channel your inner pirate as you explore hidden coves. And last but not least, for those who want to stay closer to home, the Caribbean islands are always a good shout. The Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Bahamas are just a hop, skip, and a jump away for many, and they offer incredible sailing experiences without the hefty price tag of some of their neighbors. Remember, choosing the right destination is the first step to an unforgettable and affordable sailing adventure. It's all about finding those hidden gems where you can experience the beauty of the open ocean without needing a treasure chest full of gold. Now let's talk about how to actually get out on the water without needing to sell your house to afford it. It's all about being resourceful and knowing where to look. First things first, forget about those fancy yacht brokers. We're going rogue. There's a whole world of budget-friendly sailing options out there that'll have you feeling like a true salty sea dog in no time. One word, crewing. That's right, you can actually find opportunities to crew on sailboats with experienced skippers. Think of it like hitching a ride, but on the open ocean. Websites and online forums are your new best friends here. They're like the digital equivalent of a bustling harbor tavern full of seasoned sailors looking for an extra hand or two on deck. You'll learn the ropes, share expenses, and make lifelong memories. Plus, you might even get a good yarn or two out of the deal. Next up, let's talk about boat sharing platforms. These bad boys are like the Airbnb of the sailing world. You can find everything from cozy sailboats to spacious catamarans available for rent at a fraction of the cost of chartering a whole yacht. And the beauty of it is, you can often connect with the boat owners themselves, who are usually seasoned sailors with a wealth of knowledge to share. Now, if you're feeling a bit more independent and want to captain your own ship, figuratively speaking of course, there are also options for bareboat chartering. This means you rent the boat without a skipper or crew. Now, before you get too excited, keep in mind that you'll need to prove your sailing chops to the charter company. They'll want to make sure you know your way around a boat before they hand over the reins. And here's a hot tip. Consider traveling during the off-season or shoulder season. Just like with flights and hotels, sailing prices tend to drop when the crowds thin out. So, instead of battling for space on the water in peak season, why not enjoy a more tranquil and affordable sailing experience during the quieter months? You'll have more of the ocean to yourself, and your wallet will thank you for it. Now, before you set sail, let's talk about learning the ropes. You don't need to be a seasoned sailor to enjoy a budget-friendly sailing adventure, but a little bit of knowledge goes a long way. Trust me, knowing your port from your starboard and your bowline from your cleat hitch can make all the difference out on the open water. First things first, let's dispel the myth that sailing courses are only for the wealthy. Sure, there are fancy academies out there that'll charge you an arm and a leg, but there are also plenty of affordable options available. Community sailing centers, yacht clubs, and even online courses offer introductory sailing lessons that won't break the bank. And here's a little secret. Volunteering is your secret weapon. Many sailing organizations and yacht clubs are always on the lookout for eager volunteers to help out with everything from maintenance to teaching beginners. It's a fantastic way to gain hands-on experience, learn from seasoned sailors, and make valuable connections in the sailing community. Plus, it's a great way to give back to a sport you love or are about to fall in love with. Now, if you're really serious about honing your sailing skills, consider joining a racing crew. Racing might sound intimidating, but it's one of the fastest ways to learn. You'll be surrounded by experienced sailors who will push you to your limits and teach you everything from sail trim to tactics. And who knows, you might even discover a hidden talent for speed. And remember, learning to sail is an ongoing journey. There's always something new to discover, whether it's mastering a new knot, navigating by the stars, or simply learning to read the subtle signs of the wind and waves. Embrace the challenge, never stop learning, and who knows, you might just surprise yourself with what you're capable of. All right, mate, you've booked your passage, you've got the basic sailing skills down. Now what? What's it actually like to be on a budget sailing trip? Well, let me tell you, it's not all sunshine and pina coladas. It's about embracing the unexpected, mucking in with the crew, and discovering the true meaning of teamwork. First and foremost, remember that space is a luxury on a sailboat, especially when you're sailing on a budget. Pack light, be prepared to share cabins with your fellow adventurers, and embrace the minimalist lifestyle. Think of it as a challenge to see how little you can actually live with. Now, when it comes to food, you're not going to have a gourmet chef whipping up 5-star meals. Cooking and cleaning are a team effort on a budget sailing trip. Be prepared to roll up your sleeves, share culinary duties, and maybe even learn a thing or two about preparing fresh-caught fish from the skipper. And hey, who knows, you might even discover a hidden talent for baking bread in a tiny galley oven. Life on a sailboat is all about pitching in and sharing the workload. Whether it's hoisting the sails, scrubbing the deck, or keeping watch at night, everyone plays a vital role in keeping the boat ship-shape and sailing smoothly. It's a fantastic way to learn new skills, build camaraderie with your fellow crewmates, and gain a newfound appreciation for the hard work that goes into sailing. And speaking of camaraderie, one of the most rewarding aspects of budget sailing is the people you meet along the way. You'll share close quarters, unforgettable experiences, and maybe even a few laughs, and possibly a few rums, with like-minded adventurers from all walks of life. The bonds you form on a sailing trip are unlike any other. Now, before you set sail on your budget-friendly adventure, it's important to be aware of the potential challenges and exercise caution along the way. Remember, the ocean is a powerful force, and it's essential to respect its unpredictable nature. First and foremost, weather can be your best friend or your worst enemy out at sea. Keep a close eye on the forecast, be prepared for sudden changes in conditions, and always err on the side of caution. There's no shame in postponing a trip or seeking shelter if the weather turns sour. Next up, seasickness. It's a real thing, and it can affect even the most seasoned sailors. Pack medication, try to stay hydrated, and find a spot on deck where you can get fresh air and keep your eyes on the horizon. And if you do start to feel queasy, don't be afraid to let the skipper or crew know. Now let's talk about safety. Always wear a life jacket when on deck, especially at night or in rough seas. Make sure you know the location of all safety equipment on board, and don't hesitate to ask questions if you're unsure about anything. Your safety is paramount. Another important aspect to be mindful of is respecting the environment. We're all guests on this planet, and it's our responsibility to leave it better than we found it. Dispose of waste properly, be mindful of marine life, and avoid using harsh chemicals that can harm the delicate ecosystem. And finally, remember that things don't always go according to plan. Engines break down, sails rip, and sometimes you might find yourself becalmed in the middle of nowhere. Embrace the unexpected, maintain a positive attitude, and remember that it's all part of the adventure. Despite the challenges, the rewards of budget sailing are immeasurable. It's a chance to disconnect from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, reconnect with nature, and discover a sense of freedom and adventure that's hard to find anywhere else. Imagine waking up to the sound of waves lapping against the hull, the smell of salt air filling your lungs, and the sun rising over an endless expanse of blue. There's a certain magic to being out on the open ocean, surrounded by nothing but the elements and the company of your fellow adventurers. Sailing teaches you valuable life skills, from problem-solving and decision-making to teamwork and resilience. You'll learn to adapt to changing conditions, Think on your feet and trust your instincts. These are skills that will serve you well in all aspects of life, not just on the water. And let's not forget about the physical and mental benefits of sailing. It's a fantastic way to stay active. Enjoy the fresh air and clear your head. The rhythmic motion of the waves, the feel of the wind in your hair, and the vastness of the ocean have a way of calming the mind and soothing the soul. But perhaps the most rewarding aspect of budget sailing is the sense of accomplishment it brings. Whether you're navigating by the stars, mastering a challenging maneuver, or simply dropping anchor in a secluded cove after a long day at sea, there's a deep sense of satisfaction that comes from conquering the challenges and embracing the rewards of the open ocean. So there you have it, mate. The open ocean is calling, and you don't need a pirate's treasure to answer. With a bit of resourcefulness, a thirst for adventure, and a willingness to embrace the unexpected, you can embark on unforgettable sailing adventures without breaking the bank. Remember, the greatest journeys start with a single step, or in this case, a single nautical mile. Ready to set sail without sinking your budget? Hit like, subscribe, and join us for more adventures.